Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. It appears to be a backpack from Tools for Gents, which is cool in and of itself. I'm sure there's lots of little compartments and things that you can put knives and gear in, and it's probably available at Tools for Gents. That's probably why they sent it here. It's heavy. Feels like it's containing things. If I had to guess, I would guess that Tools for Gents packed this full of new knives or prototypes or both. So we're going to open it up and see what's in there. Thanks so much to Tools for Gents for sending this in. I will link Tools for Gents down in the description. If you've never checked out their website, you definitely should. It's also where I get a lot of the super cool overbuild to Midgard's Messer stuff. So that's where you want to go. It'll be linked down in the description. Let's go ahead and see what's in here. I'm actually interested in checking each individual compartment. So it looks like on the outside you've got places for patches, which is cool. This first pouch here, this first area. Oh yeah, okay, so we've got multiple. Are these individual slots for knives? Yeah, they are. So this would be like smaller knife slots. Oh, we've got bigger ones. We've actually got areas on the outside here where you can tuck things. Two smaller knife pouches and one larger one. Then you've got a mesh little zipper area right here. Two little zipper areas right here. Very cool. Very much set up for EDC-minded people. Opening up what I assume is the main compartment. There's actually two. We have, of course, there are the knives. Here's the treasure area. 1, 2, and 3. And then there's actually another compartment. We'll look at all these compartments real quick. But we have another compartment back here that will fit, I don't know, you could probably put a small laptop back here if you want to. I don't know if you really want to, right? But you could. And then this area right here, it looks like, you know, specific container for knife or tool slots. Just like a separated area, and then more, I guess, like Velcro patchy sort of stuff. We've got some just more like Velcro, more compartments in here, tons of stuff, more compartments here, compartments everywhere. This is awesome. Lots and lots of storage space. I can't decide if it's even on the outside, if you want to put like a massive fixed blade or some enormous flashlight or something on the outside. Very cool. Yeah, I like all this. This is actually a really, really cool pouch. Honestly, I kind of want to keep this for situations where I go, you know, where I travel, and I want to keep my EDC stuff in one specific container instead of putting everything in my duffel bag. That's kind of neat. I like this. Thank you. Okay, we got two PMPs, and then we have the a Midgard's Messer here. So what do we have for oh my God, what the heck is this? Whoa, man, I don't know why I did not expect such a giant knife to come out of there. That's cool. Carbon fiber, nice milling on the outside, huge flipper. We have that, I always call it the plasma ano. It's a lightning ano, not Timascus, but a lightning ano, titanium inlay there. Let's flip it. Oh yeah, very nice. Look at that. It's actually, it changed. There's an angle here. It's not a continuous edge. Very big and very, very thick, for sure. I bet that's more than 1/5 of an inch. Let's see what we're looking at. Not a review today, guys. Not a review. I've never handled this stuff. It's just an unboxing and first impressions. So that's what we're doing here. I have no information on this stuff. The best way to get information on this stuff would be to go, you know, use the links in the description. Yeah, so this is approaching a 1/4 inch. That is a big, thick knife. So the blade material, I wonder what we're looking at here. I would venture to guess M390 or S35VN, something like that. It doesn't actually say on the blade, and it's probably because these are pre-production prototypes or pre-production samples, right? Very, very smooth. I've handled plenty of knives from PMP in the past. Actually, really easy to reverse flick. I'm going to be honest. I like the reverse flick on this knife better than the flip. I think the flipper, you know, the D10 is more so tuned. It's a little on the, not like light for this size of knife, right? But it's better tuned for the hole here. This is a very aggressive lock bar. Whew, man. Access to it is assisting, but just disengaging it a few times, woo, that's bitey. They should knock that down just a little bit. But very cool. It's a big knife. And then is this a different knife? This is also something from PMP. Is this a frame lock? No, it's a nested liner lock. This must be running on washers. Yeah, you can see them in there. Interesting. So not a knife that runs on bearings. Can you reverse flick it? You absolutely can. Big, thick, crazy thing. Again, probably at least 225 thousandths. Let's take a look. Yeah, 233 thousandths. Again, very close to a quarter inch. This looks like it changes. I mean, I don't know if the grind just like changes out here or it starts to taper towards the tip starting right here, but the edge is continuous. This has a very aggressive diamond textured, looks like a G10 inlay right here. We have a wraparound, a lengthy wraparound pocket clip that's going to sit right on top of that aggressive texturing one way or another. It is cool to have the nested lock in there. Is this, for some reason I thought it might be a compression lock, but no, it's just your standard sort of nested liner lock there underneath. Separate scales. Yeah, okay. So do we have steel liners and then titanium scales on top? That is a heavy boy. Also, almost certainly meant. So this is officially the most aggressive jimping this is almost. It's PMP and is it not PMP and Midgard's Messer? That's just what it looks like. But this is the most aggressive jimping. This is legitimately painful jimping up here. Jeez. But well within the parameters of what we expect from companies like PMP, and I'm just shocked that there's not something on this that says Midgard's Messer, right? We always see them working together, but definitely cool, big, crazy, chunky, overbuilt in the sense that everything's thick. A lot of people get mad at me, like telling me that I can't call it overbuilt unless it's got some element that makes it, you know, substantially more robust in terms of durability than a standard folding knife. And to those people I say, yes, I can. I can say overbuilt and define it however I want, as long as I clarify that it doesn't necessarily always mean that it's incredibly or insanely durable versus a standard pocket knife. And if you don't believe me, then you can sit back and watch me continue to do it for another 6 years. But you're fine. It's just a, like, openly inviting conflict. The last one here, what is this? Bomber CPM D2. You know what? I just realized each one of these has a card that says what it is. Or does it? No name yet. And then Anubis prototype. So, which one was which? One of these is the Anubis, and one of them does not have a name, right? And then the Bomber CPM D2 limited. So this is, okay. So this, what is this inlay? What is happening here? Woo! What the heck? It's knurled up here with a brass inlay. So it's the Bomber, however you want to say that. Like what Tenable did. Like when Tenable collaborated with Midgard's Messer to make the budget version of the Bomber, which is probably still available. It's that, but the actual Midgard's Messer version, which is probably exclusive to Tools for Gents. So blue titanium and CPM D2, which Midgard's Messer always uses, like, or they're pretty accustomed to using, and people have been asking for something else for a long time. I don't know that they'll ever change. Look at this notch here that's clearly intended for the locking system. Wow. So that just given the fact that it's not just, I mean, that is a wraparound hook. Not the same, but similar to the one of the elements of the triad lock. I know, I got to be careful saying that because people get really upset with me. How dare you? How dare you? The triad lock. All right, all right. Just have some oatmeal, man. Just calm down. But very cool. I do the jimping up here. This is almost certainly a pre-production sample. But knurled, and then that inlay there is super out of shape. For those of you wondering, is he going to comment on that pocket clip, or is he going to let it slide? I am not going to let this pocket clip slide. This is so offensive. This is the most offensive pocket clip. Gosh dang it. It's way too long. What is this? Why? It is Hotspot City. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of elements when it comes to Midgard's Messer knives that are obviously not optimized for utility. This is such a confusing brand for so many people because they look at it as a company who doesn't know how to design a knife, and then they criticize it from the perspective of somebody who knows better about utility, as if this is some sort of sacred knowledge. To those people, it isn't. It's not. It's very, very easy to pick up and point out what is utilitarian and what isn't. And in 2024, every company essentially understands this, but they're looking for designy elements to draw attention to a community of people who have been bored to tears with knives like the Buck 110 and the Opinel and the Elementum and all of the stuff that is just like plain straightforward. And there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, you know, in terms of like a base day-to-day utilitarian folding knife, that is what you should be using, right? But it's not secret or special information. It's pretty much like Knife World 101, right? But companies like Tools for Gents go, yeah, we could make stuff like that, but we like to make ridiculous stuff on purpose because it's different, even if it's less utilitarian and more cumbersome than what is typically seen in the knife world. We like to make it different because it stands out and because it's fun, right? And that's exactly what they're doing. So they are succeeding in terms of what they're trying to do. And here's the best part about this stuff. If you don't like it, you can just ignore it because we have more choices in 2024 than we've ever had, right? I like Midgard's Messer stuff, and I've always been interested to see what they come out with. This is weird. It does not have the tension, like it almost like swings right here. And then right here, there's tension and snaps into the closed position. So it is a folding and locking knife. I'm not sure that I want to call it specifically designed to be manipulated with one hand. In fact, that's probably exactly what they were going for, is a two-hand knife. But it does lock, and it feels incredibly strong. I like the blue titanium. I like the texturing. Blade thickness at least 1/5 of an inch, probably closer to not quite as thick as this guy, right? So probably maybe 190 thousandths, maybe about 1/5 of an inch, something like that. Very cool, though. Depending on which one is a prototype, which one, you know, this or that or when stuff's going to come out, you'll probably get individual videos on each of these. Very interesting. Over the top, exactly what we'd expect from PMP and Midgard's Messer. These will be expensive. There should be no surprise, right? Often, a lot of times these knives tend to be really, really overpriced. You know, just in terms of like where I would place them and what we have for general competition. But there are people who specifically go after stuff like this, so I can understand. I'll provide my extended opinions after I've had a chance to carry and use these in my final comprehensive review. In the meantime, I'll link Tools for Gents down in the description so that you can check these out when they become available. They're probably not available, maybe not available yet. You'll just have to check. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex if you enjoyed this video. Leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.